All right, it is Tuesday. Let's look at these slides, huh? We're gonna look at some more modern architecture. Today is going to be Antoni Gaudi. Tomorrow is Frank Lloyd Wright. So we're looking at this guy today. This is where you're gonna click on the, you've already clicked on the video, so that's cool. He was an architect from Spain. He was born June the 25th, 1852, and he died June the 10th, 1926 in a bus accident. His most famous works are located in Barcelona, Spain. They include the Sagrada Familia, which is a minor basilica for the Roman Catholic Church, but it's in Barcelona and it's still in construction today. It is not finished. That's kind of what makes it super famous, I guess. So let's look at where is his work? Well, it's in Barcelona, Spain. So I put a picture of the map here from Elgin, Texas, all the way over here to Barcelona, Spain, which sits on the sea, and it's a lovely, gorgeous city. If you ever get a chance to travel there, I highly recommend it. So let's look at one of his most famous works, which is still being built. It's called the Sagrada Familia. This is the outside of it. When you step off, like I took these pictures, so I stepped off the metro subway train, and that's what I saw. This was my first impression of it. From far away, I didn't like it. I thought it looked kind of gross. However, when you get close to it, you realize a few things. So the construction started on March the 19th in 1882, and it is still under construction. The outside of the structure consists of thousands and thousands of hand-carved sculptures. So that's what I mean. It's like far away, you can't really tell, but as you get closer, you can see, like you start to see all the little sculptures and things. So even today, the sculptures and the carvings are done in the same way they would have been done if it was still 1882, which means every single thing on this cathedral or this basilica is done by hand. No computers, no machines, all handwork, hand carvings, hand everything. Each side of the building tells a story. So if you're looking at the north side of the building, it's completely different images, different styles, different everything than if you were on the west side or the east side or the south side. Each side, there's 4 different, very distinct styles on this building. So if we look here, this is some more just close-ups of the various sculptures, but all of this, even these little like textured spots, it's all hand carvings. Everything is hand carved in this style. Even the doors were like a metal frame, but they look like leaves, like thousands of little leaves. And then all these, like everything is sculpted so great. If you put this in present mode up here, you'll be able to see a little more detail what these look like. It's insane. Now let's take a look at the inside. The inside, literally, guys, I took my breath away when I walked inside this basilica. It was incredible. So let's look at the interior. So just like our ancient Roman architecture that we talked about yesterday, columns are used for support because look at these huge ceilings. I mean, they're like 3 and 4 stories tall, this ceiling. And so you need these columns here, but what Gaudi did was, instead of making them like a Doric or Ionic or even Corinthian columns like we studied for the ancient Romans and other cultures, he made them look like trees. And again, if you put this in present mode, you'll be able to see in more detail. But it had a regular column, and then as it comes up, it's going to sprout all these other little columns that make it look like the branches of a tree to support this huge ceiling. Everything is done in like a white marble, and that is because of the stained glass windows, which we're going to look at in just a second. He used a lot of circular and spirals. There were spiral staircases all over the inside of this building. And again, everything is like a white marble. And that is because it also has thousands or hundreds of stained glass windows everywhere. And there's not a part of this building that isn't touched by sunlight through a stained glass window, including the basement. He did this on purpose. And again, just on the outside, how the outside, each side of the building depicts a different thing. The inside, each side of the stained glass windows, so like one side is gonna be like winter, then you look over here and it's gonna be spring, over here is fall, over this way is summer. So the colors of the stained glass window depict the various seasons of the year, depending on what side of the building you're looking at. So the color scheme changes as you go. Super amazing. Gaudi did a lot of other things too. These were apartment buildings in Barcelona. So like these are apartments. I just think that would be so cool. This looks like something out of the movie Casper. Like it's such an odd sort of these lines and things. And again, Barcelona sits on the sea. So I kind of feel like this reminds me of the ocean, like seashells and things. Is kind of how that reminds me of that. So does this. This reminds me of like a sandcastle. But again, this is one of his works, and then this is another image of the apartment building. And again, it's like these like seashells. I don't know. It's just interesting. There's nothing else like it. So you've got a GimKit link here. Play the GimKit. It's got lots of useful practices for the vocabulary that you're learning this week. Tomorrow, we're going to learn about Frank Lloyd Wright, and then I'm going to be adding to our GimKits so that we can keep playing as we go this 9 weeks.